Just like, oh my gosh, what the heck did my doctor mean by this? Like, hi guys. I'm for real. Oh my gosh, I'm putting my pants on. TMI, yes, I know. Okay. Hey guys, good morning. Sarah here. Well, welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to the Zebra Tribe fam. Getting ready right now to go to the grocery store, and I decided to just kind of have a little chit chat with you guys because there are a number of things that I have to update you on. So I'm gonna kind of chat with you as I do my makeup. First things first, tie this baby and get it out the way. Putting on my pants is a chore, isn't it? No, it wasn't. I'm just exaggerating. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my makeup. My foundation is Maybelline Fit Me, for those of you guys that are inquiring and want to know. Put a small amount in my hand, use my brush. I use various brushes, anything from the e.l.f. brushes, which are super cheap, as well as this MAC brush, which hubby bought me for my birthday like a decade ago, and it's still working and it's still going good. I'll use this little mirror while I'm talking to you guys. Anyways, the point of talking to you guys is to update you guys on a few things. Some of you guys want to know, Sarah, have you actually stopped breastfeeding? And I said I was going to update you guys on it, but truth be told, a part of the reason why I did not update you initially was because I was still breastfeeding once a night, and I'm like, how am I going to tell them this? How am I going to explain that I'm still breastfeeding once a night? I mean, I could explain it, but I really wanted to give you guys a genuine update on you know, just actually stopping breastfeeding. And I can actually say I've done that, okay? And I'm pretty ecstatic about it. The journey to this point was not easy. Y'all know that I had a chronic nurser. Ignore what I'm doing. This is me just trying to use up the foundation on my hand, by the way. I don't conceal anything. You guys can see that I have a few little hyperpigmentation going on here and there, but nothing major. Nothing that I don't feel comfortable going on the street with, because it's important to be comfortable in your skin, okay? I digress. Back to the conversation. So yeah, it hasn't been an easy journey because I have a chronic nurser who really was sucking out my daylight. And when I say that, I mean, like, I couldn't eat enough to keep up with this kid. My body felt drained. Like, it was just a lot. And I realized what it was doing to me, but as a mom, I'm always that like self-sacrificing mom, forever giving myself to my kids and never thinking about myself on the other end. So I'm just like, okay, baby, okay. And you know, and being that I'm watching my blood pressure, I'm already eating a low sodium diet, that already makes it hard to find a variety of things to eat. So I would be eating a lot of vegetables, I'd be snacking on a lot of fruits and a lot of things, and I wasn't eating too many complex carbs, because you do get tired of the starch and the rice and the pasta, you know. And then there's squash that literally does nothing. Every time I ate it, it did nothing. I felt like I was still starving. Yeah, so that said, it was a struggle. This is a stupid thing with this brush. It does shed. And I find that my e.l.f. one that I paid $3 for never does that. That's like the one downside about this brush. It's probably like $80. Yeah. And it sheds. So anyways, with regards to weaning her, the battle was ongoing. I would say it's still ongoing, not because I'm breastfeeding, but just trying to get her to drink milk. She doesn't like drinking milk, so I do have to make sure I'm feeding her various things such as eggs, milk, cheese, dairy stuff that has enough calcium for her, you know. She needs that kind of stuff. In a video when I was talking about breastfeeding, I guess the one where I said I'm beginning that journey to wean her off, someone commented and they said babies need like whole milk, and I was just like, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you ask your doctor, they'll tell you the same thing, that yeah, up until the age, they should get whole milk up until the age of 1, and I think from there on out they can have whole milk, or they can have 2%, just, you know, anything with milk fat in it that's good for them. I shouldn't say anything, but you can do your research, Google it for your own self, so you didn't say I sent you or I said this, because it's out there. It's not that hard to find. Sorry if you guys could have heard that fan before, but Michaela's down there making breakfast, and the eggs were just like she's using butter because we're going grocery shopping. We're all out of oil, and the butter just kind of burns for some reason. Okay, I need to wipe the makeup off my hand. The butter burns for some reason, and so she had to have the fan on to suck the air out so it's not smelling of burn in the entire house. Long story short, she just didn't like the dairy and she didn't like all the milk, and that was frustrating. She doesn't like having milk anywhere, I guess, outside my boob. And just the fact that I'm always close by makes it hard, because you can see where she's just like begging for booby. But I have to deny her, and that was hard on me too, because I don't want to deny my child, you know? But, and then I went through the whole guilty phase of it for my personal self, where I'm just like, God forbid this is like my last child. Like I'm trying to get pregnant, but what if it doesn't happen? Then I'm gonna feel guilt that I didn't nurse her as, you know, to the extent that I could have, and I broke the bond short. I was just like going through like all these little mommy moments with myself. I told y'all this chat is gonna be real candid. I do have these chats with you guys, but the more I do this, the easier it gets, and you know, the more comfortable it is, because I do realize that other women do go through the same things that I'm going through or have gone through it, and it's a learning experience for us all. So, you know, we can share with one another. Oh my gosh, I just drew my brow so big. We can share with one another to uplift and just to help each other know that we're not alone, you know? So, long story short, she still doesn't take like the milk in the way that she should. Every now and again she drinks it. But I'm on to day 2 of not nursing at all. So before, we went from the chronic nursing pattern all day to nursing 4 times, which I told you guys about in that video. Then we went to, after like a week or 2 of doing that, then I went down to nursing only at bedtime. And that was, you know, it was okay, but I had a few slip up moments where I would nurse her at bedtime, and then at some point or another she woke up in the night and would want boob. And at that point I'm like exhausted, so I didn't get up to go get her a sippy cup, and I knew she wasn't even gonna have it even if I gave it to her. So that was like a struggle. I'm like, okay, I don't want her to starve, so I reverted back to the old way of feeding her. You know, I started feeding her and giving her a couple sips at night, which led to more than sips, because at times I'd fall asleep, because she's a big kid. It's not an infant like that where I have to watch her. Like, we're laying there and she's drinking. She drinks what she wants and falls asleep, and then I realize my boob's in her mouth, and I'm like, oh snap. How long has she been sucking on my boob? How much milk did she drink? And it's just, you know, it drains me too, because then I get dehydrated, and my body, it's just doing stuff to my body. Hormonally, it's confusing my body, because my body thought it was like ending nursing, but then my body started nursing full-time at night. It was just a nightmare, really. It was just a lot. So I'm just pretty pleased. Let me close this door, because those kids are downstairs and they're being so loud I can hear them. So I hope they weren't distracting you guys. You guys can hear. That's 2. This is real life, real mom life. Stay at home, homeschooling mom. I mean, we're not really homeschooling right now. We have been doing work in the summer, but when your kids are at home, it's hard to get quiet time, because you don't want to tell them to shut up all the time, but they're always there. So this is just real life. Anywho, I'm pretty happy to report that with a lot of patience and a lot of fighting. Like, I mean, I had to challenge her when she's like trying to rip my clothes off plenty of times, when she's screaming bloody murder. Sometimes hubby had to rock her to sleep, sometimes the girls had to rock her to sleep, or sometimes I just had to be tough on her and said no, 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 and she finally is getting the hint, you know. So we're on to 2 nights of no feeding whatsoever. I'm like, wow, like I have officially weaned a toddler. Like, I don't know, I for some reason felt like this was going to be a nightmare like the others, and it's not to say that it isn't. My 2 youngest kids, like I said, weaned themselves off, but then my eldest one, it was an ongoing battle. That was really, really tough for us, and she nursed all the way up until 22 months. The struggle isn't necessarily to wean her off. really early, but you know, when you're TTCing, it can pose as a threat, especially with only having one tube. Also, a subscriber was just pointing out, because I do make videos on my tubal reversal, and she was just pointing out that I'm one of the only ones in all the tubal reversal videos that she's ever seen that actually speaks on the topic of having one tube. And the fact that when they reversed her, she only had one tube too, and they said that everything should be okay. One tube was heavily scarred, and like, you know, she should get pregnant easily. But she said it took well over a year, and they were telling her if it doesn't work out after a year, come back to do IVF. And the question, I questioned this in my video too. I was like I wonder if this is like a part of the doctor's strategy. They only, you know, yeah, I'm just wondering. Anyways, I want to do a separate video on that, because I feel like I've got so much to say on the topic, so that's probably just going to be a whole different video. But anyways, I went to the doctor recently because my blood pressure has been, I don't know, it's been up and down. But I feel like it has to do with me not eating enough, or me breastfeeding and my hormones changing all over the place, me being a little stressed out, all these different factors, right? So while there and thinking I'm gonna have to go on medication, we had the discussion about me wanting to get pregnant again. And she's like, you just wanna make sure your blood pressure is under control. And of course, when I go into the office, my blood pressure skyrockets, because it always does. I do suffer from white coat syndrome. As much as I wanna deny it, it happens. And I checked my blood pressure, and it literally went up like 20 times, I don't know, 20, what do you call it? 20 mils? I don't know how to describe it, but 20 points higher than it was at home when I checked it in the morning. So that was so annoying. And so she's getting me all prepped and thinking, okay, let me do blood work on you, sis. Let me do all these things to check out where you are at and make sure everything's healthy. And lo and behold, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and conceal my brows a little bit. And anyways, she then asks me if like I'm still feeding. I explained that I'm still breastfeeding, and then she's just like, okay, well, you know. And I was like, I told her I was still breastfeeding just the once a night. So obviously this was earlier this week, because as I'm posting this, I explained that I'm only 2 days out of the woods of not feeding her anything, including night feedings. So when I was at that appointment, I was explaining I was still nursing that night at that point, and she was like, yeah, you're gonna have to stop. And she just kind of left me at that. Like, she said, you're gonna have to stop. And I'm like wondering why, but I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just thinking, yeah, I mean, I'm doing it. But then I got home, and then I was giving it much more thought, and I'm like, what does she mean by I gotta stop? Like, I should have asked questions. But that's what the doctor said, and I'm just wondering, like, is it because of my blood pressure? Like, would she think because of my blood pressure it would be too much on, you know, with getting pregnant? Or does she just think like you shouldn't get pregnant when you are breastfeeding because it's too much on your body? I don't know. You know, you hear a lot of women say they breastfed while they got pregnant and that it's perfectly fine and they didn't experience any real thing. So I'm just curious. Now I'm just like, oh my gosh, what the heck did my doctor mean by this? Like, this is why she's telling me about getting pregnant. Like, I had to cut it off before getting pregnant. I just don't understand, and I wish I'd asked her. Anyways, I've got blood work and stuff I'm gonna have to go do. So I will have to go and see her again. In the meantime, she's doing stuff to check out medication that I could use to make sure my blood pressure's low during pregnancy. But since I've been back home, my blood pressure is fine again, I guess. So I don't know what it is. I think it's just stress, and I need to find ways to de-stress. But I also don't want it to creep up and just freak me out. So I need to make sure I monitor it and get my booty in to see them as soon as possible, you know, because it's a dangerous thing to play with. But that's my mini update, y'all, on me breastfeeding and what the doctor has said to me, because I'm pretty happy that I'm here. I'm pretty happy I am at the point where I can say, oh my gosh, like I've stopped nursing my toddler. My face powder that I'd prefer to use is actually downstairs. I do prefer to use, is it the L'Oreal? It's like a L'Oreal one that's matte, but this is just a MAC one. This is just not that great for oily skin, but I'm not gonna lie, after pregnancy or over the years, maybe with age, my skin does not get oily the way it used to, so not a big deal to use this either. So anyways, that's where I'm at, guys. I'm just putting on a little face powder. As you can see, this is not like a full makeup routine by any means. To be honest, when you guys see my videos and you're like, oh, makeup routine, half the time this is what I do. Like, I don't really go overboard. I don't do a lot. I don't conceal a lot, but I need to. I always want to make sure you get your necklace. You're gonna look like you know, you're still pregnant with the black neck. That's one of the areas that always turns like super dark. If you guys remember when I was pregnant and you go back to those old videos, you will see that my neck got so dark, as do various parts of my body, but we're not gonna get into that. The concealer that I'm going to use is this LA Girl one. They're really annoying because, at least the one that I have, it's really annoying because it doesn't come out smoothly out of the tube, and I find that I have to squirt it out, and then sometimes it's explosive. Like, I've got white rug down there. Whoa, that would go terrible. Excuse the progression on my face. I had to run off to talk to my kids. While I was talking to them in the hallway, I just kept working because that's what you gotta do. Work, 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 work. Anyways, last but not least, I'm just gonna put on a little bit of my blush. Oh, y'all heard my stomach just growl so hard. And that's what I'm gonna do for today. No contouring, no none of that jazz. I ain't got time for that. I'm just running to the grocery store, y'all. I'm gonna use a little bit of my Mariah Carey highlighter. And honestly, what I do, using my same blusher brush, let's hope I don't turn red on my nose, I just use it to give me a little bit of highlight. And I don't usually use this brush to do it, but still, just add it to my blush, really. See that glow? If you guys watch like beauty gurus, they literally have to put on so much of the stuff to see the glow, and if you see it like super glowy, I can only imagine what they have to look like in public, because I'm not wearing that much makeup on my face. Then I'm just going to use this quick little MAC charcoal eyeliner called Phone Number, and I'm just going to go under my eyes for a quick second to create a little, you know, little cuteness. Okay, I see you, girl. And then the shade's going over here. I've gotten better with eyeliner over the years. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this Milk mascara. Ooh, I like this one, and I also like the Bad Gal mascara. My girl Smartmom was showing it the other day in her vlogs, saying that she loves the Bad Gal mascara, and I was like, girl, I do too, in her comment section. So that's it for today's video, guys. Sorry the video ended so abruptly, but yeah, my camera died in the middle of everything. So this is a makeup look. It's very natural and simple. I didn't put on eyeshadow or do a ton from what you guys saw, but I really enjoy wearing my makeup like this. If you guys want to see a more in-depth look when I do put on a little bit of shadow and stuff like that, perhaps I'll do that for another video, but leave a message or comment down below so I know that y'all want to see that. As for my update, hope you guys enjoyed my mini update. I am very pleased to say I've officially stopped breastfeeding, and I am actually really happy about it. At first it was a little bit sad, you know. I don't know, I just felt defeated because there's that bond between myself and my baby, and I mean, as moms who breastfeed know this, it's hard to break it, but at the same time, breaking it has brought back a sense of freedom. I can do all the things that I couldn't do before and not have to worry about wearing breastfeeding friendly clothing in public. I'm just very pumped that she's going to be eating more and not just relying on me to nurse. So leave a comment down below and let me know what y'all think of what I'm saying, and let me know what y'all think about today's video and the update, and also about what my doctor said. So thank you guys so much for watching, and much love.
Hi guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to join the tribe. subscribe.